Hey guys, I just wanted to go through a couple of things with your virtual machine and working with the VirtualBox itself. Um, One of the big ones is that as you guys work through stuff in your virtual machine, you're usually using a virtual machine because it's something that you're looking to learn. So you're trying things, you're changing passwords, you're playing with configuration files. It's important that you guys know how to do a backup. And one of the really convenient things about a virtual machine is that it lets you kind of back up and unback up and all sorts of bizarre things like that really quickly. And there's a lot of power in that and letting you kind of keep moving forward. So um, keep in mind that as you're working through a course, for example, the things that you do early on in the course are all built upon as you move along further. So I started off by giving you guys a virtual machine. So if you're 90% of the way through the course and we get to do stuff on turning SE Linux on and then playing with the firewall, and all of a sudden you lock yourself out of your virtual machine, what do you do? Well, if you don't have everything backed up, as you've been moving along, you have to go back to the most recent backup you have, which is the virtual machine that you downloaded from me, and reinstall that and then do all the stuff that you did to get to that last point. So I'm just going to quickly go through the two different ways you can back up your virtual machines. So the first way is if you're backing up your virtual machine so that you're going to back it up onto another computer or into another folder. The way you do that is you actually have to at least pause, but usually shut down the machine that you're running. Then you go to Export Appliance. It'll let you pick the appliance that you're looking to export. Like right now, the Fedora 16 one is running. The Fedora 16 install is not. So if I want to export Fedora 16, I need to actually shut that one down to be able to export it. I can go through the process of exporting the Fedora 16 install, and I'll just do that real quick. We go to our appliance settings. It tells us where we're going to put our file, what format we want to write it in, if we want to have a manifest file. We say next again. We get to put in some information about this so that when we import it later, this information can get carried through with us. And then we'll click on export. Now in this case, I have a file there called this because I've exported this so you guys can download it in the first place. So it's looking to overwrite it. I'm not actually going to do that because I have it backed up and I don't need another copy of it right now. But it gives you the idea of the steps that you have to go through to do that. Now, keep in mind, once you've installed stuff into your virtual machine, these files are going to be a gig, 2 gig, so they're going to be big files. The other thing you can do is, like at the end of each lab, because each lab you do, you're dependent on your next one. Like the big thing about the first lab is that you disable you installed everything, but I gave you guys a virtual machine kind of pre-configured anyway. But two things that have to be done is you have to disable SE Linux and you have to disable the firewall for the next few labs that you're going to do. What you can do is you can go over to your snapshot, and after you actually do that, so after you take SE Linux or disable SE Linux and disable your firewall, you can take a snapshot of the current state of the machine. You just click on the little snapshot button. It'll say snapshot, give it a name. You type in whatever name you want. Type in a little description here. Say OK. Going to take a few seconds to do. it's going to save your machine state. Now the cool thing about this one is it actually saves your machine state. So right now the snapshot is done, and exactly what's going on with that machine is done. Okay, now from that snapshot I can do a couple of other things. So this is when the snapshot was. Everything that's going on now is kind of from this snapshot. It tells me how long ago it was. I can delete the snapshot point. I can also show details of the snapshot, which just puts some comments and some things that are turned on or turned off, and a picture of what it looked like. If the machine was shut down, like over here, and there was a snapshot made, I'm even able to pick the snapshot and clone it to another virtual machine, so that I could have like my system in two different states if I wanted to play with it again. Before you do anything really major, this is not a bad idea. I can actually go in and make another snapshot now. Oh, sorry. From this particular spot. Okay, and again, it's saving all of the stuff. And this lets me do whatever I need to do at this point. If I need to delete a snapshot, I can nuke a snapshot like that. Any changes that I've had from one point of the snapshot to another, it's kind of going to go away. One thing it's going to do is going to kind of look at the difference in the system between those two snapshots and do its best effort to merge them together. And I was hoping that was going to go a bit quicker. Alright, now I'll just come over to the system that's off. Now for the system that's off, if I go to take a snapshot of it immediately takes a snapshot of that system. So it's currently identical to the other one. Now you notice I've made a snapshot. That means I can clone this machine. If I clone that machine, it actually will create a full new virtual machine for me from that particular spot in the thing. So Snapshot's a really powerful tool. You can do a whole lot of stuff with it. I can also restore a snapshot just by clicking the restore button. If I click restore, my current state goes away. The snapshot of that actually gets restored back to that particular state. So I might get you guys to try something with this as we move a little forward, just so you can kind of get a bit of a feel for what's going on. We'll remove that first snapshot, and we're back to just a single state, and everything's good to go. Alright, so I don't need that snapshot either, so I'll move that too. That one's going to take a little longer. Alright, and that's about it for backups and the snapshots. One thing to keep in mind though is that if you do want to take a virtual machine, or if you wanted to do something with your virtual machine on a different computer, you need to go through the export the appliance method. The snapshot method's not going to work. You have to export it, period. Okay, so I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye for now.